It's like an $80 train journey away rather than qualifying for like Montreal or Austin. It was kind of amusing. But yeah, Nordic Championship in the round of 4, and Namshar with the 3-1 victory there. But Snute, I mean, it's actually been pretty back and forth between them. As we do have a very quick pause here. Apparently the drivers for Namshar's bits and pieces have just crashed here. Actually, in the Season 1 of the Nordic Championship earlier this year, Snute won that 4-2 against Namshar. And they played a lot of other times throughout 2017. In fact, there was a while where Namshar really had his number, it seems. As we are going to resume this in a moment, just waiting for Snute to ready up as well. But yeah, very back and forth between these guys in the ZvZ over time. As we are going to just resume, nice and quick, get back into the action. Again, guys, Match Arena page is up. Keep them coming in. We still have coupon codes left. Like, let's go. Let's use these coupon codes up. Let's get them rolling in. And let's get some love going for these players. Let's get the prize pool up as much as we can. Prize pool for the event right now is about $50 for 3rd, 4th place, $100 for 2nd, and $300 for 1st. So a little bit on the line. Hey, get to see some Wardy hearts in the chat as well, guys. Good going on you. Well, you guys are very active in chat today, I have to say as well. You guys have been having some good chatter and some typical Twitch meme moments as well. But for the most part, some good chatter. Nice to see. Hopefully, you're all having a good day and enjoying the games with me. I'm definitely enjoying the games myself. There've been some pretty good ones along the way. As we kick off into this game with the Hatchcast pool as well. It's ZvZ, so you're going to hear me say that quite a bit unless someone starts changing it up and getting some cheeses in. We'll see how this is going to go. I mean, Snute showed us some pretty quick games against Nurture, some longer games as well. Some real good Ling Bane micro. I really feel as though Namshar for a long time was a player who was really dominant in ZvZ when kind of Legacy of the Void came out, especially. In the kind of start of the year of Legacy of the Void, after Legacy of the Void came out, Namshar was dominant in the ZvZ. I think he qualified for like a DreamHack Valencia back that year, over Snute as well. In fact, maybe I can just illegally like this one, because I can't even remember the score, so I should be able to just pinpoint it based on the position of time it was played in. I say this, I'm actually never going to be able to figure it out, am I? No, I'm wrong. No, but there was, Namshar was one of these players who actually really, I really thought he was, he was kind of one of the guys who revolutionized ZvZ in a way. He played this sort of roaches into Muta style, which became so powerful for a long time. Back on maps like Central Protocol and stuff, he was doing this, and yeah, it became so powerful for a long time, that sort of roaches into Muta's play style. Bit of a, it was a bit of a shocker, I guess. Bit of a crazy one. He just always caught people off guard because he had roaches, and then suddenly Mutas, and that wasn't really a thing until Legacy of the Void. And they got to the point where Namshar did it every game, but he was really successful at it. And I think Namshar's had a lot of great moments in ZvZ in his time as well. I mean, talk about DreamHack Leipzig. I mean, DreamHack Leipzig coming up, but 2 years ago, DreamHack Leipzig, Namshar was up 2-1 against Hydra in the round of 32, which is kind of pre-prize pool. And he was like one map, he was one map away from knocking Hydra, tournament favourite, out in the round of 32 before he's even entered the prize pool. Namshar has really been one of these players that in ZvZ, I think, over time, has definitely excelled. Well, let's see if he can excel against aggression, because right now Snute is being aggressive. Ling is up the right-hand side, Bane's morphing towards the front, and Snute is going to be, well, he cancels this initial Baneling here, and he has to try and find a way to get on towards those Banes of his opponent. He's going for one of them. Actually, he seems to lose the target fire a little bit there. He gets those too low. He actually runs Banes towards the natural, where there isn't really defense in position. And now there's a couple more Banes coming over here. Snute, oh! His Baneling actually tanks the damage of a couple of Banes there, as we do see him 2 Banes up in towards the main. Well, okay, one will go off, but that will be it. He's going to end up getting this Queen as well. No, in general, I think this was great for Snute already, and he is going to rally more units across the map in the next few moments. Bane in the main base, got about 4 of the workers low. It's not brilliant, but if a couple of Lings sneak up there, they will target those units down very quick. And I just don't think Snute remembers that he actually did that, because that would be a couple quick kills. Or maybe he just wants to keep these Lings at the front to start morphing into the next set of Banelings all over again. Namshar up 14 workers though, so then, Snute has to do something sooner rather than later, otherwise he will run into some trouble here. I mean, one Bane going to finish up, it's only one Bane. As we are going to be seeing the Bane, oh my god, in the second there, it was just in the center of all of those Lings, and now he gets a better connection. He's going to be seeing these couple of Banes from the right hand side as well coming forwards, and going to see what else is happening. The Morphin in Bane gets picked off. A little bit of mayhem at the moment, but Namshar, he's going to be able to kill that Bane and Morphin of Snute, I think, as we're going to be seeing a couple of drones going down towards the third base. Finally, Snute's finding some real damage in amongst all of this, and oh, I love it again, just pulling back with the Lings when he gets the Banelings low, and then goes in with just one Ling to minimize the damage that he takes when trading out. This Queen's still alive and picking up kills where possible. A 9-kill Queen, not something you see every day. Thing is, though, Namshar's been ahead on eco for a while. Now he's really evening out the army supplies. And he really is beginning to just hold on here in Snute. But he now begins to drone himself. Let's see if it's going to be enough for him here over the next few minutes, as we're going to be seeing well, a couple of Banes up the ramp. There's one connection, there's two. He's protecting his own Banes. In the meantime, 3 Banes for 3 Banes and a whole chunk of Lings on either side going down here. But I think overall it's still Namshar coming out of this one with enough, as we see these Queens targeting down Banes. They go off on Queens. It just isn't really the damage you need here, right? And Namshar now, so much money in the bank. Still a couple workers ahead, still a double in the army supply. Looks as though Namshar might have game number 1 of this in the bag already. So we've seen this Queen starting up again on this third hatch, and just going to be seeing these other Zerglings from Namshar moving down to the south side as well. A few more Lings gathering up together and seeing what they can do. A few Lings and Namshar going to pull away from the left, and he is actually going to run by towards the main base as well, but there's 1 and 2 Banes to clean up every single Zergling. Nice defense from Snute. When you're playing from a deficit like he is, you definitely need connections like that to make it back up, although there's a few more drones going down. Lings as well on either side. Still a little bit of a messy scenario here and there. A couple more drones have gone down that one lane, picking up some kills, and another couple of Banes coming in, but there's not a lot of drones here to actually pick off. He's actually going to go in there. I guess one, I'm guessing maybe whether using the other Bane on the other drone. I mean, the Bane's probably not going to make it back home or anything. Goes off on the Queen, so I think Namshar forgot he had those Banes there. He stopped using them for a little while. Ling's running in towards the third bases again. Snute now on the counter, looking to try and get a little bit more done. +1 missiles already on the way from Namshar. Snute setting up into his lair, Evo Chamber, and Rotorn as we speak. So he's setting up into those in towards the setup where he can get his own upgrades going as well. So again, that's set, getting that ready to go. As those Lings going to run back in as well. Roaches are still just fighting here, and we are going to be seeing more Zerglings just keeping on dying. 28, 36 army supply. I mean, the Roach explosion from Namshar has a big gun. He's already got some Roaches, he's making more. He's actually already getting ready to attack, which is maybe a little bit eager, but honestly, it might not be so bad. I mean, Snute bounces back a little bit as he starts his own Roaches, but it still definitely is a Namshar game at the moment in this one. I mean, again, when you have the Roach explosion like this, the timing window to hit when you're going to have Roach +1 and Roach speed to move across the map quickly to attack, and that's when things get very, very, very powerful for you. But I mean, even like moments like this, I mean, Namshar's going to find himself a couple of trades where Snute just doesn't have as many Roaches. You know, you kill off a Queen right now, that's less lava injects are going to come in, another drone. There's little bits and pieces, and you know, you turn around and fight right here, and this is a beneficial trade. This is a trade you win. And again, it only gets better over time for you. The stages and Banes come in, it's another 4 drones. Namshar is continuing to just kill everything that he finds from Snute. That's a good few Zerglings coming in, and actually some surrounds going to help out Snute to help start pushing this away just slightly. Namshar has made a big round of drones behind this, which has allowed Snute to kind of catch up in terms of units and to shut this down. But obviously now being ahead 16 workers, that's going to have its own benefits in, well, in due course. Namshar probably just going to go into +2 missiles, and as I said, there it is. I mean, no reason to delay that. It's just something that's going to help him out as the game continues on. As for a moment or two, we will settle down and get ready to go as well. Once more. What's up, Homo sapien ignoramus? For the Twitch, not the Twitch Prime sub, just the normal sub. Thank you very much for subscribing. Some Wardy hearts in the chat, please. And welcome to the family. We see some corrosive battles dropping on this Overlord. And we are going to be seeing Roach Ravager pushing in towards the center of the map. Namshar here looking to see just what he can get up to. A couple more corrosive battles, and just going to be seeing 2 more Ravagers setting up in the center of the map again. New task coming up, and again, injects just popping. +2 missiles, +1 carapace, and again, we're going to be seeing a corrosive ballister coming down on this overlord. Eventually, he gets one more connection. Okay, he gets both of them. And the overlord does go down. I'm glad overlords have death animations again. We lost the overlord death animations at some point today, and we also had adept at one point where actually just exploding. I mean, that's something weird going on with all of that, but everything seems to be having fixed itself at the moment. Snute down on supply and will be hurting when it comes to defending this next attack, especially as +2's coming up from Namshar very rapidly. And it's coming in from Snute as well, but look at this, I mean, he's losing Overlord after Overlord, and the more Overlords he loses, the worse it gets, but Snute jumps on this opportunity. He just has a few more Roaches in position, so he does have the chance to get rid of a couple of Ravagers. I mean, that's the sort of thing that could start to turn this game around. And he needs more than what he's just gotten, but it is a very good stun. It also saves some of his Overlords, which is obviously kind of a hidden benefit as well. But again, I mean, you look at the top right, and Namshar already has a saturated full face, and you can see Snute coming in, and he gets blocked away with the Rock Tower going down. Well, that's going to be painful, and as that Rock Tower goes down, Snute gets completely cut in half of his army, and Namshar takes away any advantage Snute might have been kind of feeling as though he had there for a moment or so. Snute just even finds the moment to GG out then and there. It's off, straight in game, and straight into the action. To the bottom right hand side, our red Zerg player up a game is Namshar, currently teamless, formerly of Dead Pixels, and we'll see. Maybe he gets picked up in the new year, I would not be too surprised. His opponent to the upper left hand side is the blue Zerg player from Team Liquid. It is Snute. ZvZ game number 2. Get the setup and rolling, and see what's going to be happening in the next couple of moments. There's a few more drones are popping out. Getting there, ready to throw down the hatchery first. I mean, no reason to go anything other than hatch first here on Neon Violet Square. I mean, we're talking about a super large map when it comes to rush distance and all, and you know, everything. Loads of bases, loads of space in this one. Definitely a map for hatchery first. Like, if you're going pool first in this one for safety's sake, yeah, I don't think it's going to work. If you go in 12 pool to rush across, no, it's just not going to work, so pretty much a given. But it is interesting, Namshar goes hatch pool, and no gas just yet. Now that is a difference from hatch gas pool, of course. Maybe to the point where he takes a very fast third hatchery, and there is a drone moving to the back base. Interesting to take the back base, especially, obviously because it has only half the minerals. So we'll see if that's not something Namshar can get up. Now the big benefit for this from Namshar is that he doesn't necessarily need link speed to defend this. So you could maybe play some kind of roach-based opening off of the very fast free hatch and just play kind of into a later gas, play the gasless style. Set up some kind of wall off of Evo Chambers and a roach run over here. And we'll see where he goes from there. We'll see what Snoot's response is going to be. It's going to be hard for Snute to read right away, but there is definitely ways he can respond. Something like investing his own first 100 gas into his +1 will then give him a +1 lead. That's one way to deal with it. In fact, that became the most common way to deal with the roach-based aggression. Sorry, the roach-based openings off of gasless. And actually completely took it out of the metagame because people learned to just 100% counter it. And so from doing it every single game, people started to do it never. And then all of a sudden people forgot how to deal with it and people brought it back, and it's actually been one of those builds that's always one of those options that's always been somewhat viable in the ZvZ. Couple of Zerglings from Namshar moving forwards up through the center of the map already here. Queen on the way out in the main base is BattleNet, please. But the client wants to update, like, no BattleNet. Not now, not during StarCraft time. And yes, a couple of lings jumping in towards the natural expansion, and we are just going to be seeing 14 lings on the way up from Namshar. Sorry, from Snute. Snute really loves to be the aggressor in these games. Like, again and again, we're seeing it. Now, obviously, this time Namshar has not got ling speed, so there's definitely the openings from Snute to get some damage done with a lot of lings. Snute's also throwing down the Evo Chamber behind this, so not going to go Banes or anything. Again, a lot of lings you can definitely look to put to use. And, well, is there a wall off just yet? Yes. It's about 5 seconds old. as Namshar throws it down at the front to answer my question just like that. Well, Snute can definitely break through this, it's not impossible. And if he does break through, it's Namshar in a little bit of trouble here, but obviously the whole point is that with casters you get an extra queen or so up, and with the extra queen, you really can just put it down in the low ground, you really will be able to just push this away. As you are going to see, the top side of the Rotoron actually is what's building. If the Rotoron goes down, that actually becomes an issue. I'm not sure, is that a complete wall off there? I'm not sure if this queen is fully walled off at the moment. In fact, it doesn't matter, it's going to go down. Okay, new queens do fill the gaps for now. New Rotoron on the way, but it's quite a while until you see that situation where you're basically set up in towards and Rotoron to make use of your roaches. Now double Rotoron is building. Obviously, potentially one of them. I don't know actually, I mean no reason to build this one in the back unless he's confident it's going to get picked off again. If he thinks this one in the front will die again, then obviously having a second Rotoron is actually somewhat useful. You can just see how Snute is abusing this. +1 missile attack upgrade is already on the way. He's already setting up into this. He's responding against this pretty much perfectly already. Well, starts up here from Namshar. Getting that set up and ready to roll. Wings, queens. Again, set to poke their way through these rocks as well. We're going to see another creep tumor coming on down, and again, those queens getting to work on that set of rocks here. So rocks taking some more damage, and we are just going to be seeing 13 more roaches on the way. I mean, it's just built up into a big old +1 at roach attack. I mean, by the way, no lair as well, right? So no roach speed, so it's going to get super hyper aggressive with this. And that's why he's breaking down these rocks, to be able to move across the map nice and swiftly without any delays. Especially because he doesn't have roach speed, he can't afford to be going in all these fancy directions. He'll push that quick tumor forward just a little bit here and again as he breaks through these rocks. He'll move across and see what he can get done. Next couple of moments. Roachling's going to start going down towards the lower right hand side, so let's see what they can get up to, as we are going to be seeing. I mean, just the +1 attack timing, right, is already going to be great, but if Raynor can defend, well, if Raynor can defend, this puts him into a great position, obviously, because he has got his own +1 as a follow-up. Roach speed is on the way. He's already got the lair, which is obviously something Snute does not have, because of how committed he is to this aggression. I want to see if he can give up this 4th base. I mean, that is a 4th base. It's not a 3rd. The only issue is he only has half saturation on his bed because of the base he took. So he's kind of in need of a 4th base a bit faster than Snute would be. But more important to stay alive, obviously, than to, than to worry about that base right now. Better stay alive and worry about that later, than to worry about it now and just straight up die. If you've got no hope of holding that at all, so... Well, Raynor is going to defend this, and Namshar is going to defend this. He's going to be able to push this back. And Snute is going to be held off for now. I think I said Raynor a couple of times here. It's been a long day. I was alive for 10 hours right now. My brain was feeling a bit weird at the start of the day today, honestly, and yeah, all these zergs are just getting in my head. It's obviously Namshar who's making the defense here, and Snute is going to have to pull back towards the upper left-hand side. And now Namshar puts himself in a great position because he will start +2 missiles, and Snute only just got into his lair, and he doesn't have the next Evo yet. So actually, from this +1 attack timing from Snute, Namshar defends, and all of a sudden he starts to put himself in a position where he can go into +2 missiles, which is obviously pretty awesome, and which can be very successful too. Just a couple of Ravagers finish up. And here we go. Roaches, Ravagers of Namshar. Starting to push forward as we cross the bars. We'll pick off an overlord nice and quickly. 145. Over 138 supply there for a moment. Snute with some overlords finishing up. Does reopen the supply opportunities for himself though. Namshar. Love the fact that he's the player on the map right now. Some links from Snute running around. At least they have Carapace, so that will help in terms of fighting against these roaches to some extent. But it's a wall off over here, and so Lings will survive. They're only to run back in towards more roaches, and guess what? Where do you go, right? In the end, you're just going to die. So he's just going to run in a corner and try and pull these units out of position. I guess the best thing you can hope for. I guess he could maybe kill these rocks if Namshar sort of just left him alone there for a moment. So he's actually going to kill his own Evo chamber here to get back into position, because I think he saw this army coming through, and so he's getting into position to make sure he isn't out of position at the location due to those Zerglings. Again, the unit has Carapace as well, which will have him keep on scouting and placing overlords even when he loses them here and there due to the units of his opponent. As we're going to see, well, Namshar looking quite eager to take a fight already. He does have a few more Ravagers in his current position, so I'd say his current position is definitely better, especially if Snute cannot get those lings into the front lines. There is a Carapace upgrade though from Snute, remember, but also Defender's advantage for Namshar as he has his units rally in from a much closer distance. That goes a long, long way to helping him out here. There's a couple corrosive battles, well, the lings of Roaches of Snoop just dodge away once again, pull him back just a little bit. Well, +2 is about to finish from Namshar. Will he take advantage of that? It doesn't seem like it. He throws down a Spire here and Burrow and Tumbling Claws, all of the different sort of techs he can use now that he's maxed out. He's going to start setting up in towards this. He is going to push forwards actually. He does have the upgrade lead going into this fight, but Ravager can, I believe, slightly is 52, just 10 to 9. It's actually not as big a difference as I thought. Some of the Suits Ravagers are very far in the front, and that actually kind of hurts because if they get targeted, they go down much faster than the Roaches. They're not as tanky. So it is a Namshar benefit here as Namshar forces a cancel on the gold base. Obviously he's up in 4 bases himself, and Snute currently is not, as Namshar now running through this little bit of a checkered area. He's going to back away into this more open area for him to fight in. But both players in general are just disengaging here, especially with the help of those corrosive battles. So players disengaging, and we're going to be actually maybe seeing a fight once more. Ravagers Roaches pulling back through the centre here again, and it's a large spread of units from Snute pushing forwards at the moment. He's going to set up to do more all over again. As you're going to see a couple of Ravagers being picked away, another Roach or two. It's starting to go down, more corrosive battles coming into the skies and dropping on into play. And well, Snute actually is the one who gets a concave onto the position of Namshar. He's going to keep on pressing forwards as Namshar will try to defend, but Snute just seems to have a little bit too much in army at the moment. But there is a spine call again and again. Reinforcement distance is in Namshar's favour, so Namshar can utilise that to his aid here. He actually burrows a few Roaches. Snute does not have an Overseer. That means that Snute will get rid of this base. Namshar regenerating some of these units and maybe just waiting for reinforcements. And now he's losing a lot of drones, and I guess he has tumbling claws as well, so he can pop up maybe behind, I would say, and pick up the Ravagers, but he's not doing that at all. He's just sort of attacking out the front still. Suddenly this has landslided into Snoot's advantage. Snute with just one large attack that makes his word to kill some drones in the process, and really does take a good fight out of this one. Snute can tie this one up 1 apiece here in this best of 5. Cancels the gold base on Neon Violet Square for Namshar. His own gold base is building again. However, Namshar switches to Mutalisks. 11 on the way. Can 11 Mutas clean up? Well, actually, I think they can, because the Roaches are here to help out and to buy time. So I think the Mutas will be able to clean these Roaches up. And so Snute's going to lose his entire army. If Snute loses his entire army, and then there's Mutas on the map, well, this becomes a whole new kind of interesting scenario. Mutas will target down the Ravagers nice and quick. That's going to be the last few pillars of battles. Namshar with 26 Roach drone losses in the last few moments. As we are going to be seeing again, every single one of these Roaches cleaned up in the next few seconds. Namshar is still losing out in numbers though. Not for long I think, but for now still. We're still finding a way, Roaches dropping one by one. All those Roaches going down. I'm going to see this Overseer gets picked off as well, and the Mutalisks moving out in towards the centre of the map. Some Roaches up the right hand side, and I was going to be seeing those 2 meters. A couple more on the way up. Namshar, well, he's brought himself back into this again with these meters. He's going to fly out in. Well, straight away, no Spore Crawler here. Means that this base is just in trouble right away. Picking off Queens, especially high energy Queens, which are segregated from the rest of the Queens, is a huge deal. Just stopping transfuses being used. And Snute's not paying attention. He hits a transfuse very late, and in fact he misses this transfuse. Namshar just jumping around Queens, killing one after the other. I mean, this is Snute making some big mistakes here. I mean, now we see Namshar able to come back in towards this mineral line, gets another Queen kill, and now the drones are going down again. The Spore Crawler should never come up from this position. What a back and forth game here. Suddenly, as Namshar is back in the worker lead, I thought Snute was standing Namshar's death warrant in that last fight, and well, I completely forgot about the Spire for the Muta switch, and it has indeed saved Namshar for now. Will it do enough? Well, that question remains to be answered. He gives Namshar again a good amount of time to set up a defense of his own, to set up into the army of his own all over again. It's slowing Snute down in terms of economy. It's slowing Snute down in terms of queen count. Like, everything's just going wrong with these Mutas, dealing so much damage in the last few moments. And now Namshar is able to get his own gold base up and running too, and you know, as Snute is so busy elsewhere on the map, he's not in position to protect his own gold. So coming forward here, Namshar looking as though he can take this fight. He will see the Roaches of his opponent coming in. He should probably bring the Queens into this fight ASAP. I think the sooner he gets the queens in here, the better it's going to be for him. As he is actually someone that puts the mutas in here, Namshar. He needs the mutas in here, I think, to really fight this, but he's actually just going to keep them across the map where, well, not across the map, but in the Bane base of his opponent where he's picking up again another queen, delaying injects, just whatever he can. Obviously, Sport Crawlers are one of the big threats right now, as we're going to see more mutas through the center of the map here. Namshar coming down, back towards the bottom right. These mutas still flying around. You're going to be seeing the roaches going to be targeted once again. You're seeing these roaches going down. And yeah, mutas really all picking away at them. But these roaches will give their lives to kill a hatchery. So the whole idea right now from Snute is that if he just keeps on killing hatches and keeps the economy of Namshar low, that maybe perhaps he can just make this work in terms of eventually building enough stuff to, well, just win out, right? But I just don't think it happens. With mutas in the sky, and Namshar actually just has so much anyways. I mean, Snoot's throwing away a lot of units to make this happen, and Namshar is going to abuse that perfectly by coming in and taking the fight. The queens are chasing down roaches. They can pick up the queen very easily. GG is typed by Snute. Namshar takes game 2, and suddenly a 2-0 lead for Namshar has developed. Namshar and Snute having a crazy one at the moment. Some crazy games. Let's see if Blue Zerg player, the bottom right hand side from Team Liquid, can bounce back down 0-2. It is Snute. As his opponent to the top left hand side, the red Zerg player, is Namshar. Thank you very much to Zafo1, who donated $10 on the Matcherino page. Thank you very much for adding to the prize pool and to help support the players in this event. Guys, Matcherino page still has about 7 coupon codes left, so if you want your chance to add $1 to the prize pool for free, exclamation mark Matcherino in the chat, and it is coupon code WTVCI2 to add $1 to the prize pool. So go get those used up. Again, just takes really not much time at all, 20 seconds max, and helps support the players. Definitely does help out. Definitely just go a long way. These guys, we cast a lot of ZvZ today, honestly, and well, hatch gas pool, no real kind of early aggression sort of stuff at all. In fact, it was kind of the same yesterday in most of the ZvZs. We saw Lambo being very aggressive, but other than that, it's mostly just been hatchery first sort of players. And again, if Namshar wins this one, he is in the finals with Raynor. Our current prize pool will give about $50 to 3rd and 4th place, to TLO and the loser of this series. 2nd place $100, and 1st place $300. A little bit over than that, a little bit over that marker, simply because of the fact that we have a little bit of donation money in there as well from people. Popovich and Zafo1, who we just mentioned, have raised $25 extra so far. Obviously, it's been very unfortunate. We didn't have the Matcherino page for the first tournament, for the first day of tournament play, and then we had 2 groups which we just completely missed out on. So that kind of messed up the Matcherino a little bit. So small shame, but it happens. Again, if you want to get involved in that Matcherino, the link is in the chat. I'm sure someone will link it for you. And there's still a few coupon codes left, so get them while they're hot. And as we have a little bit of a passive startup here again, as players get ready to take the 3rd hatches. Do not forget you can hit that follow button to see when I'm live again in the future with more StarCraft 2 action. Going live pretty regularly. Again, I'm not going to be live, so the next couple of days I'm casting the IEM Pyeongchang qualifiers for South Korea. I'm going to be casting those with Todd tomorrow at 10 AM CET and the day after at 10 AM CET. That's on the ESL Twitch channel. When I travel home on Christmas Eve, I'll be home on Christmas, obviously probably not streaming. And then the action continues. We'll be live again on the 26th. So this is our last stream for a few days, but only because of holiday period and travel and casting other places. So make sure you check me out there. We'll be excited to cast. There's going to be some really good games tomorrow and the day after, obviously. Going to be some really good games. So definitely do come and check us out. Alright then, Bayness finishes up, and is Snute going to be the aggressor again? Because game in and game out, Snute seems to be the aggressor in this series, honestly. Well, Feeling's already nibbling away on this hatchery on the 3rd base. And we're just going to be seeing that Rotron building up from Snute very quickly. So he's going to kind of, I mean, he already went into Banes, but he's going to go into Roaches very soon after. 2 Banes for, well, a Bane and a lot of Lings, and he does clean up Namshar that next little Baneland as well. Namshar puts himself in a great start up there. Snute really feels though with a Rotron this fast, he actually just wants to all in with kind of Roachling Bane, something along those lines, like hatchery tech focus. not really looking to go up in towards lair or anything like that. You know, with the Evo Chamber coming down and a Roach Roaring from Namshar, it looks much more as though he wants to build in towards a lair eventually and tech up and to play that sort of style, as we're going to see. Well, these lings here from Namshar just picking up a couple of ling kills when they can. Small trades, small skirmishes which go his way, obviously going to end up being overall a positive effect on the game for him. There's now a couple of Banes arriving, they're not doing too much. Namshar going to get pushed away, but has taken a 5-work lead in the process. And Snute has continued to drone up himself. 45 workers he'll be on in a moment, which is 2 base saturation with some gases, so it is possible that this is where we kind of cut. And we see pure units, but it's not going to be the case. Evo Chamber coming down, lair on the way up. Namshar going to 10 lings, a couple of Banes morphed, and a +1 missile attack upgrade coming up as well at the moment. So a lot of upgrades coming through for Namshar. A lot of setting up at this stage of the game, of course, as we've seen in previous games too. And already already it's a 40-second lead on +1 missiles. I mean, that is in StarCraft 2, 40 seconds is a long time. And it's a big window in which Namshar can attack with a worker, with an upgrade advantage. And maybe just use that to push on through and to break his opponent. Obviously, it's difficult to know if you do have that, straight up that timing that heavily on your side, of course. You can obviously keep clicking on roaches of your opponent because you don't know for sure, so it can be a bit of a gamble to commit to it. Especially when you really thought Namshar had the lair on the way up. Was I mistaken? It was Snute with the lair, sorry. So Snute with the lair on the way up. And right now, Bane's actually just going to try and run on through, and honestly, first Bane connection is good, and the second Bane connection will get a few more. Gets workers tough. I really thought this was going to be more. How many of these drones are on the red health? I mean, we're talking about 5 of them? I really thought this was going to be like 8 or 9 kills, not just 5. Well, that's still nice. Slow Snute down. Especially as Snute is just droning like crazy at the moment. Namshar's having trouble keeping up in the drone count, even though he's been droning pretty solidly himself. So +1 missiles is about to finish. I guess he goes straight into the Roach speed from here, of course, playing the Roach heavy style as everyone does. ZvZ after ZvZ after ZvZ, because well, what else are you meant to do? Yeah, I don't know either. Hydrogen coming down though from Snute pretty quickly, so setting up in towards this Hydraless Den. Really getting himself in a position to continue on. Sorry, we just missed a couple of Banes in this mineral line. And Snute does take a small loss there, 6 more workers, putting him down by 8 at this stage. +1 missile is going to be finishing up from Snute here as well in a moment or two, and we are going to be seeing so many of these roaches from Namshar starting to come through the south side here, so a bunch of roaches setting up. I mean, roach speed on the way, +2 stun. Obviously, he never really got to take advantage of the +1 timing, right? But he might be able to do something with the +2. It's only a 20-second advantage now. I guess we'll see. The issue is it's over 100 seconds away. By then, lurkers will be out from Snute, as he's already invested into those. So Snute going to try and go straight up to the lurkers here. And we'll see if that's something which is going to help him out, because it was something that helped him a lot playing against Nurture in the quarterfinals. These roaches, a couple of Ravagers, setting themselves up together, and we are going to be seeing Namshar just coming over through the south side. I mean, roach speed is coming up, Invitational Carapace coming in. More Ravagers are going to be morphing at the moment here. Again, +2 missiles, +1 Carapace upgrades, which Namshar could look to hit with, but again, he's going to be attacking into lurkers if he tries to hit with those, and that will hurt. And that's why he has to be very careful. But if he can force units out by having a presence on the map and a threat to actually attack in, it can be difficult to just suddenly go, oh yeah, I'm going to make a bunch of lurkers, right? Because they take time and they're expensive. Roaches gathering again, Ravagers moving up to the top right hand side, and we still see Namshar perhaps just set to move forwards here. I mean, he's going to be attacking up around. Maybe this is a good fight because suddenly he's in a position where he can maybe kind of attack into just this half of the army on its own. Snute doesn't really let it happen. A couple of bars force it back, and Namshar just going to go into burrow and tunneling claws. That's how he's going to try and take an advantage from this point on. And again, Snute does have the lurker down, but right now he doesn't even have a Hydraless on the map to morph a lurker in with. And +1 Carapace finishes, +2 missiles. This is Namshar's time. He's a small amount of army supply ahead as well, but obviously some of that is rallying across the map. And it's actually Snute going down to the south side, so the roaches have ran into the main. They're going to start going down, but it's a huge amount of use from Snute that are coming in to deal with this. Namshar gets the 4th base and already throws a bow as he gets a queen, a couple more drones. And again, he's got those upgrades for a few more seconds, but only really a few. Can Namshar fight his way out of this in the next few moments? He's got a few more roaches coming in from the left, and he doesn't have to fight his way out. Snoot's going to let him leave. Snute ties up the upgrades. And Namshar about to finish burrowing again, tunnelling claws very shortly as well. Already burrowing some of his roaches here. There's an overload nearby from Snute, and I guess he might have just seen those units burrowing. He does start to morph in another overseer down to the south, maybe aware of this possibility. Actually, a dropper lord into the main, so not even burrowing through towards the main base now. That's actually really cute. Because that means that it's just not going to get caught on its way in. You're still going to need this overseer, of course, to clean them up because they can still burrow, stay alive in this scenario. Obviously, that can be an instant kill on this spine crawler. That would be kind of a good thing to go for. Cancel actually going to be what happens. You see Namshar pushing the top side again. A kill without a cancel on the fourth base. That goes huge here. As those roaches and ravagers splitting up, Snute coming in all around the left-hand side. The left flank is pretty brutal right now. A lot of ravagers in the army of Namshar, which means it's a little bit vulnerable. In fact, his army supply is way down. Namshar needs to kind of get that back up again. He's lost a few of these roaches in this harassment, but kills a few workers and still causing some chaos and just distracting at the moment. But I really don't think you can try and fight here without reinforcing. 24 roaches in production? No way. Surely not. Hive is on the way up from both, so we're going to see both of them heading in towards that next stage of the tech tree already. Obviously opens up the opportunity to go in towards +3 missile attacks, and that obviously goes a long way. As we are going to see roaches and ravagers coming through this top side, and again, well, in a moment can push on in and see what else they can do. One ravager gets cancelled already. We've seen the explosive battles coming down. A cancel on this upper right-hand base as well. A lot of roaches down the south, but Snute is in position with some roaches and an overseer to stop the burrow plays as well with this. And there's no place coming up to max out. Well, this fight's just going to continue. It feels as though it's definitely a Snute fight to win though. Namshar's going to keep pulling his way up. He's got a few more units coming through. Remember, Snoot's only on 3 bases. So Namshar's not, doesn't have to be super eager to deal damage any further. Like, if he just keeps Snute on 3 bases, eventually that will pay off for him. I mean, he's already mining off of his 7 gases. Something which Snute will not have here, and that's where the little bit of a gas income difference comes from at the moment. Namshar is mining a bit more in general with that 4th base speed up, rather than the main base set, which is just mining out that little bit faster. Roach is popping up again. Namshar still in the aggressive forefront of this. He's now going into Vipers. He's also got a Lurker Den coming through too. I love that he's getting Vipers up already. I mean, they're so useful in any stage of the fight. If Snute plays Lurkers, okay, he's going to have a great time then with the Abduct. If Snute doesn't play Lurkers, I mean, Flying Clouds on their own, they're going to have a pretty good time too. As explosive bars continue to drop, and Namshar is the one finding himself back in the way. Plus, 3 characters also start, invest into Digging Claws. Snute starts up some Hydras for the first time in this game, despite having the Lurker Den for multiple minutes now. And he will start to go in towards his own Lurkers here in the next few moments. The south side, a lot of Roach Ravager from Snute is setting up all over again. Namshar still just gathering out in the center. Again, the Digging Claws is about halfway done. Infestation Pit is coming up behind the back. Oh, he's up behind the back. That's been there for a while. It's giving him access to that Hive Tech FVC, and therefore is able to get into the Digging Claws and the +3 upgrades. Into the later game here, but I kind of like what we're seeing here out of Red State playing Namshar, obviously, but that's not good. I don't like seeing him run his Ravagers through a kind of a chokehold of units from the Snute. That's not going to be pretty, right? It's going to see, well, this should be a Blinding Cloud territory for Namshar. Building a bunch of Roaches. That was a bunch of Ravagers that went down, though. I mean, those are expensive units, right? Those aren't easily replaceable. It's a 9.3k to an 7.8k game. 1.5k difference between the players and resources lost, favouring Snute, but he has been kept off of the 4th base for a lot longer, so Namshar has had a slight equal advantage to work with, as we will see Hydra's picking off that Overseer in defensive mode or observer mode. Explosive bars flying up, and we'll be seeing this base going down. Meanwhile, Lurkers are actually going to burrow over on this base here. They actually unburrow and back away. I mean, that Digging Claws really just works wonders for these units. They just do so much. I mean, really just magical, I guess, in a way, just how fast they can unburrow, burrow, and all the rest of it. And we've seen the, at the same time, actually, Roaches running back towards the natural. We've seen a couple of units over here actually getting taken down by Lurkers. Eventually, it will be a cleanup. Probably could have got the Hatchy, but honestly, he killed off enough workers to justify it as well. And now, Namshar still harassing over here, by the way. Probably grab himself a couple of Hydras, but he's just going to be going into the main base and not paying attention. But at the same time, a larger fight on top lane. Clouds are forcing Snoot's army to just not do anything. A lot of time spent running GGO, just like that. Namshar is all over the place. Lurkers being used, blinding clouds are beautiful. And Namshar takes the third game to be able to